Good morning. This is Karen Spar, Executive Vice President of the Southport Oak Island Area Chamber of Commerce. And in Faces of Commerce today, we have Regina Fisher. She is the, what is your title, by the way?
I'm a business broker.
Business broker for Bristol Group, Carolina Business Brokers. What exactly does a business broker do?
Good morning, Karen.
Good
Thanks
morning.
for having me here. A business broker works with business owners when they want to sell their business, when they want to exit their business.
I know a lot of people just close the doors sometimes, and it's kind of like, you don't want them to do that, do you? There's value in a business.
There's value in a business, and most business owners have worked hard to get to where they are. And yes, as you mentioned, it's a shame if you just close it down. Yeah. A lot of businesses are, when you sell a business or when you exit a business, you have assets, which is your machines, your display cases, you have inventory, and you have something that's called goodwill. Goodwill are the intangible assets. That is your reputation, your client list, your good standing in the community, your processes, the way you operate, how you make money, and all this is worth something to a buyer.
That's right. There's value in that. And there's also an exit strategy for retiring. Not just selling your business, but retiring and maybe succession to the next generation. You help with that as well, do you not?
Well, what I do is I help business owners assess the value of the business. So if you're thinking about selling it to your employees, to your partner, handing it down to your children, splitting it up in a certain way, it's important to know, what are we talking about? Yeah? What's the real number? What are we talking about here? So I help with business valuations, and if selling to a third party is the best choice. Again, we review sometimes, just even although it's a shame, but sometimes closing down if you have a lot of assets, a lot of inventory, might be the best option. Or you're handing it over to family members, you're handing it over to partners, you're doing a management buyout, or you go out on what I call the open market and find a third party to sell it. And that's when I come in and then I help find those buyers, market your business, vet those buyers, make sure they're real before we share very much information about your business, and then go through the whole motions of the due diligence, the closing. It's a very long and lengthy process, and for business owners that worked in their business and grew it and took it to the point where they are today, it's a very emotional and a big decision, financially and emotional, a very big decision. It is not a quick and easy fix. It takes on average about 9 months, during which we work very close with our clients. Sometimes we have communication on a daily basis, so it's I usually find out everything about my clients, and they know a lot. Of course, I mean, because we're really going through a very huge step along the way. It's a big transition, and we are experienced in going that journey. And for most business owners, it's a one-time deal, so we work very closely together to make this happen in the best possible way.
Sounds great. Now, again, this is Bristol Group, Carolina Business Brokers. Love your accent. Where are you from?
I was born and grew up in Vienna, Austria, and I can't shake the accent. 22 years in this country, I don't even hear it when I talk unless I hear myself taped. So when I listen to that tape, I'm gonna be thinking, oh my God. But my thing is always, it could be much worse. I could sound like my fellow countryman Arnold.
Oh no, Arnold.
He would say, I'll be back.
That's great. Now, working with these business owners when they're looking at buying or selling, mm-hmm. It's an emotional kind of a thing. What do you like about your job?
Oh, I love my job. I really love the people that I work with, because they're all very strong, determined, hardworking people. They've made it. They're entrepreneurs. They've started a business. They've grown a business. They've worked through the ups and downs, the personalities. But then again, as I mentioned earlier, it's a huge decision to sell your business. Some people are so ready to go, so ready to let go. For others, it's kind of like, I know it's the right decision, but it's hard for them. Some of them really don't know what they're going to do afterwards. Some of them, I have one example, a handyman who grew his business to almost 30 employees. Now he's a manager. He does not want to be a manager. He wants to work in his trade. He knows it's the right move for him to sell. He's actually going to sell it and then continue to work for the buyer. So for the seller, it's a huge decision, but for a buyer, just the same way. for buyer to put up. The benefit for a buyer to buy a business over starting their own is that they can be sure from day number one they put money into their pocket. If you start a business, it's going to take you some, I mean, you can open whatever kind of business, you can have all the assets and everything you need to run the business, but then you're going to wait until first person walks in or the phone rings, and then you have your first client and you do all your marketing. If you buy a business, it continues the way. And buyers buy businesses because they know something existing is there, they can take it over and they can grow it because they are the right personnel to take it from where it is today to the next level. But then again, it is a huge decision because you're tying your life and your financially, you're tying yourself to something that you didn't even know anything about it a month or 2 months ago. So it's another huge decision. So we have a perfect storm. We have two very emotional parties that make some very big decisions at the same time, and we're going to bring them together and merge their needs and interests with the best terms so everybody walks away. Win-win is such an overused term, but it only works if it's that. If one party is just not happy, it's going to fall apart at some point. So that's where we come in. We make sure we help everybody through the motions, and we keep the emotions down, and we make sure everything is followed step by step to really get to that closing.
That's great. You know, a lot of small businesses are around the Southport Oak Island area, and sometimes I feel like they may not put a value on their business as much as others would. And I know they're probably thinking, well, this doesn't sound like, I'm too small for something like this. There's no business too small for a business broker, is it?
No, it's not. It's not. I mean, I help business owners understand the value of their business. That's the first thing. I do business valuations. If you're interested in understanding what your business is worth, please give me a call, 910-520-0737. I repeat, 910-520-0737 is my phone number. My email address is regina@bristol.group. That's it, regina@bristol.group. I help business owners understand the value because I think 85% of business owners have no clue what their business is worth. They either undervalue it or they overvalue it, or they just really don't even know where to start. And there are some urban legends, how you calculate the value. These are kind of close, but there's so many different pieces that have to fall into place to get the real value out of your profitability, your location, your reputation, all these different things that we take into consideration.
And you just didn't pick this up yesterday. I mean, you teach, correct?
Yes. I lecture international business at UNCW. Before I worked here locally as a business broker, I worked internationally, specifically in the fintech industry, working on very large mergers and acquisition projects and strategic partnerships. And I got the opportunity to lecture at UNCW, and it's a hobby. I have one class per semester. I just had final exam yesterday. It's a lot of fun. I like it. I love working with the students. I'd like to instill the sense of this is really something I'm interested in, and really conveying the message of what it means to, in this case, work globally. So that's my background, but I'm extremely happy. And again, I'm not from around here, but I found the place for me. I'm so happy in this area. I love the people. I love the region. I love the weather, of course, and the culture. I am in Austria. Austria is extremely cold. One funny detail: it's Christmas is coming up. It's a love fest. I just realized recently that I grew up without hugs. Austrians don't. Yeah, you look. Yeah, Austrians, we do not hug. We don't hug. Huggers. We when we meet our friends, we give like this little kissy on the cheeks.
Yeah.
But we don't hug. We barely hugged our parents, sisters. We don't hug. We don't hug our friends. And I met a lady from Ireland, and she said, same with her. Europeans don't hug, and can you imagine a life without hugs? So yes. No. I found my place here, and I'm super happy, and I'm very excited to work with any business owners in the area, small or large. If you want to understand your value, give me a call, 910-520-0737. If you want to know the value drivers, again, two businesses can make the same profit, the same revenue. One sells with a multiplier of 7 their profit, and the other one you can't even get rid of. what's the reason behind it. I can educate on these value drivers. And if you're thinking about exiting your business, and the question is not if, the question is when. We all exit eventually, either voluntarily or involuntarily. When it comes to the point where you think about your exit, just please get in touch with me. I'm more than happy to get together for a confidential conversation anytime.
That sounds great. Again, this is Regina Fisher with the Bristol Group, Carolina Business Brokers. We appreciate you today being on our Faces of Commerce. Your website is?
www.bristolgrouponline.com. That's BRISTOL, grouponline.com. bristolgrouponline.com.
And your telephone number one more time.
910-520-0737.
Wonderful. Well, thank you again, Regina, and we hope your cold gets a little better. And, we're just so excited to have you in our community and providing this service for
Thank you so much, Karen.
businesses.